Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Siti Nurul Kurutul Aini, and my ID number is T20906039. In here, I want to explain about equivalent and equivalent effect for approach towards on the notion of equivalent and equivalent effects. Number one, approach from Roman description, nature of the linguistic meaning and equivalence. From Roman description, nature of the linguistic meaning and equivalence. Uh, Roman description, his paper on linguistic aspect of translation, describe three types of translation. Number one is intralingual, number two is interlingual, and number three is intersemantic. Number one, interlingual, is a recording or paraphrasing, summaries, and expanding or commenting within a language. Number two, interlingual, between two languages, that is traditional concept of translation from source text of target text or shifting of meaning from one language or another. And number three, intersemantic. Between sign system, the changing of horizon text different from such as are ordained. This structuralists focus on interlingual in order to explain linguistic meaning, and equivalent description support the relation laid out by Saussure between signifier and signified, which from the linguistic side. The sing according to success for arbitrary or unmotivated. The conclude is that Jacob's theory is essential based on his semiotic approach to translation, according to which the translator has to record the success text mistake vira, and he has to transmit it into equivalent mistake for the target text. For Jacobs, difference between language center on grammatical and lexical forms. Their differences are known, for example, at the level of genre, the level of aspect, or the level of semantic files. Number two, approach from Anida. Uh, Approach from Anida, the science of translating. First material is nature of meaning and advantage in semantic and practice. In the analysis of individual words, NIDA different various significant approach to meaning, always from a functional definition, meaning in which a word acquires a meaning, tag its context and culture. There are three types of meaning. Number one is linguistic meaning, a relationship between different linguistic structure, and number two, uh, referential meaning, the denotative dictionary meaning, and number three is emotive or connotative meaning, the association word product. And the next material is formal dynamic equivalent. Number one, formal equivalence. Formal equivalent focus attention on the mosaic itself, it both from and context. One is connect that the mosaic in the receptor language shows much as closely as possible the different element in the Sarkas language. Number two, Dynamic equivalent. Dynamic letter functional equivalent is based on what Nida calls the principle of equivalent effect, where the relationship between receptor and mesic should be substantially and same as the which excited between the original receptors and the mesic. For Nida, the success of the translation depends about all on achieving equivalent effect for response. It is one the four basic equipment of a translation, which are making sentence, conveying the spirit and manner of the original, having a natural and easy form of expression, and producing a similar response. And the material three is discussion of the importance of Nida works. Uh, the key role played by Nida is to develop the part away from strict word-for-word equivalent. His introduction of the concept of formal and dynamic equivalent was crucial in introducing a receptor-based or reset-based orientation to translation theory. Equivalent relation Nida moved towards a science of translation proved to be especially influential in Germany, where the common term for translation study is translation science. The concept of equivalent more closely along which is like the concept index. The two can be differentiated as follows: correspondence file, which the file of contrastive linguistic with compares two language system and describe difference and similarities contrastively. Equivalent, on the other hand, relates to equivalent item in specific TSTTT files and contexts. And this is all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.